Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dundee. I believe many of you are visiting our city as part of this conference, and it's wonderful to have you here for the 13th annual conference of the BioDundee Partnership in this city. This event is the largest Scottish conference event in the life sciences sector, and life sciences have played a very important part in the regeneration and renewal of our city's economy. And what I would like to do this morning is explain to you how the life sciences sector can participate in the ongoing regeneration of Dundee as part of its major waterfront project. The history of Dundee is perhaps typified by these images. We have moved on from Duke Jam in journalism. Very often we are known still for these particular products, but over the last 25 years we have completely renewed and restructured our city economy. And we are the fourth largest city in Scotland, and we work in partnership with our fellow cities at a national level to promote the importance of city economies in the future Scottish economy. Life sciences has played a crucial part in the development of that new economy in the city, very much based on knowledge industries, and the huge importance of our universities and colleges to the development of Dundee, both in the past and in the future. We have one of the largest ratios of students to population in Europe, and therefore higher education, further education have had a huge impact on the city, and we intend to ensure that we make the most of the additional benefits that these important education sectors, particularly life sciences, can bring to the future of Dundee's economy. You arrive in Dundee at the moment. For those of you who are from Dundee, you'll be very aware, but those of you who are visiting our city, you arrive at a time when we are in the middle of a huge transformation in the city, based on an 8-kilometre stretch along Dundee's waterfront. We're located on the north shore of an estuary. It's quite a unique location in the UK. It means that we have a fantastic setting for the city, but also a huge opportunity, because the area that's shown coloured on this diagram is land that has been reclaimed from the River Tay estuary over hundreds of years. The original shoreline was at the northern edge of that coloured zone, and therefore what we've seen is the city perhaps being, as it's being developed, divorced from its setting, from the River Tay, and the reason why the city is located at this particular location. And it offers an opportunity for us to reconnect the city with the river, and also to allow us to develop a new future and new economies for Dundee in terms of the land and setting that's available. The waterfront project in total is a £1 billion project in terms of public and private sector investment. And this year, we reached the £500 million mark. So this is not a project that's a dream for the future. We are in the midst of that transformation. It's made up of 5 separate individual projects that are linked through a very careful master planning process. And what I would like to do is just explain to you each of those 5 individual projects, and then focus in on the central waterfront area, which is where Apex Hotel that we're in today is located. And that might help explain to you all of the works that you see taking place around this building. If we look first at Dundee Port, the Port of Dundee is the reason why Dundee is located here, because of the deep water harbour and the connections originally to Northern Europe. The port, in terms of its immediate future, is very much focused on the opportunities centred on offshore wind turbines. The North Sea has been identified as a major location for offshore wind generation, and we're on the brink of a major manufacturing and assembly operation to deploy thousands of very large wind turbines out far into the North Sea. Dundee is particularly well located to cater for that manufacturing and assembly operation and for their future operation and maintenance thereafter. The Port of Dundee has land available, and we are working with the owners of the port and with SSE, who are one of the local major companies who are participating in the development of the North Sea fields, to bring their supply chain to Dundee and create thousands of skilled manufacturing jobs back in the city economy. Looking to the other end of the waterfront, the area to the west, towards the boundary with Perth and Kinross, there's an area at Riverside very much focused in and around the airport at Dundee. It's not advancing. There we go. It's an aerial photograph. The airport link is hugely important to the city as a strategic connection to London City and beyond. But also within this area, which is perhaps the most recent pieces of land that we have reclaimed from the river, mainly through an old landfill site, which we have now completely restored as a nature park, as part of an ongoing commitment to sustainability throughout the waterfront project. And this is now a regional facility for not only Dundonians, but people who live in Fife and Angus and Perth and Kinross. And is an excellent example, I think, of our ability to take advantage of this zone of land between the city's historic fabric and the river estuary. Coming in closer then to where we are located here today, the City Quay area is an area of former docklands which were declared surplus just over 15 years ago and have been developed for a mixture of uses based on a very ambitious master plan. The development is nearing its completion. This hotel was one of the early phases of development in the City Quay area. And as we move forward to see the master plan completed, we wish to try and enliven the whole area by bringing new active uses onto the water areas themselves. You've probably seen from the front of the hotel, we have large areas of contained water. And these are historic docks originally designed by Thomas Telford, and they're protected. And we're looking to try and build on the developments that have taken place already in the area in order to... It's a bit sluggish, this. In order to build on the developments that have taken place, both new build and the conversion and retention of listed buildings, and to bring a major new marina into the heart of the city, directly in front of the Apex Hotel. We're very close to putting that to the market, with marina operators very interested in developing that. And that will draw people down into this area and really enliven the whole setting for the City Quay development. Immediately to the west of the city centre is an area called Seabraes, which was a former area of railway goods yards, which over the years have been developed with a mixture of uses. And more recently, we are developing an area called District 10, which is focused very much on creating funky, affordable space for new businesses spinning out of our universities, particularly in the digital media field. And these are being developed by the reuse of ships' containers. This is a development process which has been very successful on the continent, particularly in Holland, where we can provide very flexible, cheap and affordable space for new businesses, embryonic businesses. And the first phase of that development is nearing completion at the moment. Now, we've been very aware that in terms of development of life sciences, there are fantastic opportunities in terms of crossover between life sciences and digital media, and a lot of opportunities we believe exist there in terms of exploring new opportunities. Also, as part of the Seabraes development, there is a new residential apartment development being constructed on the waterfront itself, Despite where we are in the economic cycle and at the depths of recession, this development is taking place and being constructed at the moment. And later this year, we will start building a pedestrian connection over the main railway line into the city to connect that development back into the heart of the city, in particular Dundee University campus. So coming into the central waterfront area itself, this is where the waterfront project essentially started just over 15 years ago, and it's where the vast majority of our investment focus is located. Over 500 million of the total 1 billion of investment will be incurring in the central waterfront area. This is an aerial photograph of the central waterfront taken a couple of years ago before a lot of the major infrastructure works started taking place. We're in the process of putting in a completely new street network based on a master plan, which I'll show in a moment, and also removing a lot of the 1970s, 1980s brutalist architecture that we had in the area, particularly in the shape of the Olympia Centre, the Hilton Hotel and Tayside House, and these are all in the process at the moment of being demolished and cleared. The master plan that we have developed went through a very comprehensive process at the very beginning of the project through extensive consultation and got huge support from Dundonians and the local area. What we've managed to do through a partnership between the City Council and Scottish Enterprise is to put in all of the necessary new infrastructure to create a series of new street blocks that extend the city centre down to the river, creating new opportunities for mixed-use developments, but also creating a new front door into Dundee. The central waterfront area is, by and large, where most visitors to the city get their first impression of Dundee. And first impressions count for so much. You make your mind up about a place in the first 5 minutes. And we really needed to tackle that issue in Dundee. The waterfront will achieve that. And when people arrive, either by air or by rail or by car, their first impression of Dundee will be a hugely impressive and promising one. We're in the process of putting in this infrastructure, and that will be complete in the next 3 to 4 years. You're in the city at the moment at the peak of that activity. So a lot of the diversions and construction yards that you see immediately to the west of the hotel here are where those works are taking place. They will all be complete within 4 years, and they will provide a setting for perhaps the centrepiece of the whole development, which is the V&A Dundee. We've been working with the Victoria and Albert Museum for the last 5 years to bring forward a major new museum at the heart of Dundee's waterfront, which will provide a home not only for exhibitions associated with Scotland's very rich design history, but also for the travelling exhibitions that the V&A organises and that go around the world. The sort of itinerary they have is Sydney, New York, and then it will be Dundee. So we're in very exalted company in the future. This will bring about 500,000 new visitors to Dundee in its first year of operation. So it is already promising a great deal. We will be starting construction of the building next year. The building is partly sited on land, partly sited out into the River Tay itself. So the building itself makes that connection between Dundee and the River Tay. This is a view looking back towards the river with the Discovery on the right-hand side. The design went through a process of selection through an international architectural competition, and the winning architects were Kuma and Associates from Tokyo, and this will be their first building in the UK. This is the internal view of the main entrance hall into the building. We'll be going out to tender for this £45 million project in August of this year. Already the fact that the V&A is coming to Dundee is having an effect on the city and really changing the impression of potential investors and occupiers and developers of Dundee as a place where they want to be. Malmaison Hotels have taken a 30-year lease on the former Tay Hotel building, which is a fantastic listed building right at the entrance into the city, located next to the railway station. And for the last 10 years, this building has sat derelict and completely unused. Over the last year, it has been very carefully restored, and the new Malmaison Hotel will open in September of this year. I don't think Malmaison would have come to Dundee without the Central Waterfront project, without the V&A project, and it's a talisman, really, of the prospect of change in the city. And I think this will provide an enhanced context for the life sciences sector in the future within Dundee. We already are a major player in that field, and we would like to work with you to capitalise on these opportunities in the waterfront in the future. A further 5-star hotel is proposed to come into the old Custom House building, which is immediately to the north of this building. So as you go out the main entrance and turn left, there's a large building there that's currently unused. That is about to be transformed into a 5-star boutique hotel. Again, the reason why they are coming to the city is because of the V&A and because of the investment context that the Waterfront project has created. And very importantly, if we are changing Dundee's image, if we are bringing new investors to the city and new visitors, we really need to make the main transportation portal into Dundee a fitting setting. I don't know how many of you arrive by rail in Dundee. It's not the best experience at all. A rather poor building from previous decades. We are about to demolish that building later this year and construct a completely new railway station concourse as an entry point into the city. It will not only have public transportation facilities and passenger facilities, but also retail, new food and drink opportunities, and a hotel above the building to create a new landmark gateway into the city. That will be open in time for the V&A opening, so that when we attract new people to the city, both in terms of leisure tourism, but we hope also business tourism, their first impression in coming through this city will be a very positive one. If you would like to know anything more about our project, please visit our website. If you're interested in how life sciences can play a part in the Waterfront project, there are numerous opportunities. Please do get in touch with us. Contacts are available on the website. If you wish to download any of these images, they're available on the website, and there is also a 3-dimensional computer model where you can fly down all of the new streets that we're creating and get an impression of the place and the quality of place that we're seeking to create. But this is not just about creating a place. It's about creating an opportunity for Dundee and its citizens in terms of continuing that journey from jute jam and journalism to knowledge-based industries, sustainable industries, based on knowledge and the quality of our universities. Thank you very much.